Starting off the day smack dab downtown in the one and only Cleveland, Ohio. Dun 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 dun. Majestic. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. 407 years ago, there was not such a thing as vlogging, and that might actually be a good thing. But there was an Abraham Lincoln, and there is a special guest once again. Rebecca is here. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woobraham. I should have brought Woobraham.
Yeah.
Dang it, I left him in the RV. I'm getting a very Omega Man with Charlton Heston vibe right now. There's hardly anyone out here. Bizarre. There he is. The king of rock and roll himself, made of completely out of wood. You look great back there behind that glass. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. At first glance, I thought this Cyclops wearing normal sunglasses was taking a selfie, but that's not an iPhone, that's a coffee. You know what? I want coffee. Good old Yum Yums. I got my caffeine. What'd you get?
A maple donut.
How is it?
Yummy.
This pickle's definitely attacking the day with all cylinders, climbing the side of that building. You so crazy, Pickle. This is Playhouse Square, and while you might be enamored with that amazing sign, it is currently overshadowed by the largest chandelier of the outdoor persuasion anywhere in existence. Look at that thing. Dangling 44 feet in the air, 4,000 crystals make up that 20-foot tall behemoth of a chandelier. If that thing tumbled down on a vehicle, there might be a lawsuit. But what a story that, watch out, sir. There's a large chandelier directly above you. Whew, it stayed stable. Thankfully, it stayed, watch out, there's a chandelier right above your head. Oh, okay, good. Whew. We're safe. We're safe. There is quite a bit of art in this city, and this is no exception. Deemed and named The Politician, created in 1995, fallen under a little bit of controversy. The city did not know where to actually place this, so it ended up in this field next to this warehouse. And as best I can tell, those are his eyes and his hairline and his mouth. And at one time, the wheel moved and it made some noise. Oh, there's a bow tie. He's got a bow tie as well. And if you look closely, all along the fence line are slightly derogatory words about political figures. Just some examples of the lettering. Read my hips. Contradiction. Those are the types of phrases that encompass the fence line. Like many other areas, there is a tour bus, but this one is in the form of a trolley called the Lolly Trolley. I always contemplate paying for one of those tours to drive me around the city, but then I figured I could just kind of do it on my own and go at my own pace. But one day I'll do one of those types of tours. It is not a common occurrence to have an Uber drop you off at a cemetery, but that is what just happened. The Lakeview Cemetery. There are some very unique headstones out on this property. The first being a statue of this gentleman by the name of Sergei Gaidenko. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's got his guitar and he's standing over his final resting place. That's pretty cool. Alan Freed was the DJ who coined the phrase rock and roll. So if you've ever used that or heard that in the vernacular of society, you can thank him for coming up with it. But the interesting thing is the back side of his headstone looks like a jukebox. Check that out. Something you don't see every day. Make a selection. According to this, I can make a selection and I can pick from a handful of tunes. Very unique. I like that. Someone has placed a guitar pick and a handful of rocks all along the base of the structure, as well as, that's a coin right there. Someone wants to play a tune on the jukebox. You got a coin?
Quarter.
Putting a quarter down?
I could probably get about 5 songs for that.
You could. What song are you going to choose?
Something by Elvis or Buddy Holly.
A word to the wise: if you see geese with their children, do not get any closer than I am, because they will, if I were to walk a couple steps closer, they would attack. I mean, they would attack me generally anyway. That's happened in the past, but they're more inclined to do so when they are shielding their young. I have to admit, I did not think that Eliot Ness was laid to rest here in Cleveland. When I think of that name, I think of Chicago with Al Capone, and also The Untouchables, where Kevin Costner portrayed Mr. Ness. And it looks like someone has placed a beer bottle. Oh, check that out. The name of the beer is Eliot Ness Lager. Interesting. This is something I've never seen before. The family name is not carved in granite, but in this boulder itself, and the graves encompass the rock, and the names do not bear the last name, but just their first names. All here in the family plot next to the rock. I really like this one as well, and definitely not something you see too often. The angel is embedded inside the headstone, not protruding out. You can see they carved a spot to insert the angel figure. It is also unusual to see an inscription detailing how someone passed away. This one signifies that they drowned. And check this out. The side of this cup bears the likeness of a face. A man with a beard right there on the side of that cup. And now for one of the most famous graves out here. Are you ready?
Yes.
For the angel of death. This is hauntingly, moderately, well, slightly, overly, moderately terrifying. Oh my goodness, right here at the Hasserot family plot. This is incredible. And the elements of weather over the years give her the appearance that she is crying. This is, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of creepy. Would you say it's kind of creepy in a lot of ways?
It's very heavy metal.
You could say that. You could definitely say that. The size of this place is so expansive. They have a bridge going across a reservoir that leads to the other side. Now, we're not allowed to walk across that. It is fenced off. We have to walk that way to get across the hill. But this is very interesting. You don't see this. I've never seen this in a cemetery, I must be honest. And right here at the base of this tower that resembles a castle lies the 20th President of the United States, James A. Garfield.
The angel type figures above the gold wreaths symbolize that all 4 corners of the nation were in mourning upon hearing that the president had passed away. You can go to the level where you see the railing and look down. It's a great view on top of the statue. You get to look at the windows from different angles. You can also go higher and outside onto the balcony.
Now, you would think this would go without saying, but please do not play Pokemon Go inside the memorial on the way down to his crypt. I was informed upon entering that this is the only U.S. president that you can see the casket of in person. Him and his wife laid to rest there, and his daughter and son-in-law, their ashes are in the urns in front of the graves. Only served 200 days in office. He was shot, leading to an assassination. He died 80 days later. President Garfield, right there. This really is incredible that you are allowed to just wander all around in here, looking down upon his statue. Or you could continue up above the inside of the building, up onto the roof and the balcony, and overlook the entire city. Be a little more convenient if they had an elevator, but we have made it to the top. Look at this. Wow. This is awesome. He certainly has the best view of the city from up here. The name of the cemetery is Lakeview, and now I'm realizing how it got its name, because that is Lake Erie right over there on the horizon. And you can see it very well from the pinnacle point of this tower. And just adding to the experience and to the ambiance, these bricks, these tiles, are slightly uneven. Freaked me out a little bit when I was walking across them. Just a little bit. What looks like the Washington Monument, in fact, is not. It is the grave of John Rockefeller, who was born in New York, died in Florida, but laid to rest here in Ohio. Highly regarded as one of the richest business owners in the world. He lived to 97 years old. That's a pretty good long life, for sure. Raymond Johnson Chapman was the first and only professional baseball player to be killed by a pitch during gameplay, and because of that accident, went on to change a lot of the rules and regulations in the MLB, including the initial banning of the spitball, and 3 decades later, he was used as an example to create the batting helmet. In 1920, when the incident happened, it was commonplace for a pitcher to dirty up and scuff up a ball to make the projectile on the way to home plate a little more erratic. When contact was made, the ball bounced towards the pitcher. He threw it to first base thinking that it had struck the bat, but in reality, it had struck the hitter. I have visited a lot of cemeteries in my day, and this one has to be one of the most unique. The guy at the Presidential Memorial was telling me 100,000 people are buried here. Just ordered another Uber. That's him pulling up in the gray car, probably very confused on why he's picking us up at a cemetery. Arrived now at Wahlburgers, owned by Donnie and Mark, who are from Boston. I'm surprised there's one of these in Cleveland, but gonna get some dinner. Adam the Water? Come on, horsey, help me out. Say it. Say it. Rogue! Rogue! That sounds more like Scooby-Doo, but you get the point.